Hello there. This is an update from America, where I have been on my quest to find my sweetheart. Anyway, you all know me by now. I am Final Fantasy Peasant, and I'm looking forward to doing this video on an update. I can't freaking do it. Okay, context. I have been watching the Chris Chan documentary. I'm here in the States. It's been a ride, one heck of a ride, with a lovely, awesome, dope human being called Brianna, a Polish-American hybrid. And she's been showing me the Chris Chan documentary, and it's one hell of a ride. But what's good, guys? How you doing? Alright, let's check out this little accommodation. I've just come down from Canada, Niagara Falls. Suck my balls and lick on my stick.
Lick my butt and suck on my balls.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I will get one of these days.
It's too perfect. We did it!
It was good, it was good. Blasted loads of money on arcades. White our feet in position. Let's go, we're going in! Woo! What am I shooting? Oh, you got me hitting the sensors. Final score 330 to 170. Got wrecked. Ate loads of foods, went to a Benihana's. Very nice, very nice. But anyway, hope you've all been good, guys. And I did catch up on a few FF things, and really this was just an excuse. Oh, is that Cusco? Cusco? Oh no, it's an imposter. We've got a really awesome dog here. Cusco! It's a Cusco! It's a Cusco! Hello, Cusco! Oh no! Oh, Cusco, he's got in. Oh. Cusco! You're a legend, mate. They left us seltzers and wine.
Jake. Jake.
Oh shit, no!
Jake.
Oh no! Oh!
Motherfucker.
Are you running away from the crime?
No, I'm putting my shoes on.
Oh my god, we've lost the watermelon.
You fucked it, you're getting it. Baka.
A wild peasant.
Wow, it's still okay.
Reclaims his watermelon.
Good job.
No, it's leaking juices. But anyway, let's get into some FF juices that I got up on today, because there are some exciting things. Oh, check this. Yeah, we've got a goddamn tree house. Yeah, the exciting parts are quite up there. The one that really got me hyperoo. I'm going to try to climb this ladder one-handed. FF16 news. So this one came out from Yoshida a few days ago, or probably longer, I don't really know. It's the one about, well, we knew that Clive, we're going to be seeing 3 periods of Clive's life from, what was it, 16, 20 something and 30. Ah, God, this hurts my feet. Oh, there's like there's a bed, there's a balcony. I haven't gone on this netting yet. This looks a bit precarious. Oh my god, please say this can take my bloody weight. Yeah, news that. Basically, as Clive, old Clive boy, Rossfield, as we see him advance through these different ages and stages of his life, which could be such great insight to his mental health, his development, his character arc, actually evolving as a person And what's exciting is how in-depth they're going to be going with that evolution. Because of course we've got with like Noctis and the Bros in the post 10 Years of Darkness, but yeah, it was kind of done in like a very self-contained, right at the end. It was really powerful, but the world didn't really change. It was just the same map, just a bit dark with crap loads of demons and ghouls and goblins everywhere. This is going to be very different. Not only are we going to see Clive evolve, we're also going to see the other characters, of course, evolve, but also, you should have said, their relationship. They're going to try to really write it as how have these characters and their ships evolve along the way, and even the cities themselves are going to be evolving along the way. I don't know if that means like technologically, architecturally, probably all of those and more. It's something they're putting a lot of effort into. Because Yoshi said if they try to do this open world, which, same with 7 Remake, there were some interviewers with Kitase, they're like, ooh, looking at Rebirth, it looked like it was hinting that this was open world. I don't know how they got that. There was nothing, the little shot of Nibelheim we got did not give me that impression whatsoever. And it kind of does bug me a little bit, all this talk about open world and how many directors have to sit and caveat and explain away why it's not open world, why we're not choosing to do it. And Yoshida simply said that with how cinematic, that this game plays like a movie. There was also another line where he said realizations or recognitions, or no, resolutions will be crashing upon our bodices like waves. That there's going to be like periods in the game which is going to be like bam, 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 fireworks of just shooting off in our brain canals. Oh, my heart is actually pumping just thinking about it. This is exactly the format of FF. Because I said it with 13, people like there was a lot of people complained there was like too many cutscenes and like not enough action, and it kept jumping into scenarios and events with the characters. And maybe some people felt that because they didn't like a lot of the 13 characters. There's a lot of people who hated most everyone. Like literally most everyone. Vanille was hated, Lightning was big time hated, Snow was mercifully hated, Hope, whiny little bitch. Oh, whiny little bitch. Like 13-year-old boy just lost his mum and he's complaining about it. Grow up, grow a pair, boy. I think that's why people wanted more gameplay in that event, but I've always said since then, I love it when it feels like I'm playing a movie. The cutscene density, slather it upon me. Get real sloppy with it. And that's pretty much what's going to be happening with FF16. And that if they try to do open world with what they plan to do, they said it would take 15 years to make this game. A decade and a half. To create it with all the things that they've got lined up in terms of bringing forward that real sense of this world aging and it moving forward and not leaving a lot unexpressed and just up to the imagination in that time gap. So I was really, really excited when I was really excited for that when I saw that this morning. Oi! My foot just went through the bloody netting. Oh, it made my heart kaboom, kaboom. The only other 16 news that we had, less exciting, but Curious is coming up again. FF16 being action-based combat, you should just simply saying it's for the newer generations. Newer generation players, they're not interested in turn-based combat, action or command combat. He sort of made a point about differentiating between the two, command-based and turn-based. And that, yeah, is basically an old man's game. Oh, God, I've got to get out of here. I've also geeted my neck. I've been having... Hello? What the fuck was that? I heard a thing. Something's invaded the treehouse. I'm going to try to go down these stairs. And, you know, I get where Yoshida's coming from with that. I couldn't still help but feel a little bit salty, especially because there are great games that are still doing turn-based. I get that they're stylized and that, you know, with the high AAA realism and the tonality that 16 is going for, turn-based would be jarring. It wouldn't really vibe that well. And especially because of how much, I think it's a numbers game basically. You know, even though Persona 5 got crazy high sales, was it 6 million? But that was kind of a anomaly, really, compared to whatever turn-based games we do have now. Typically, they've got to be mid-range games It's too much of a gamble to do something as big as 16 a mainline and not have the newer generation on board. I still think there's a way to do it. I still think this is basically why I always think Square Enix should keep up the mid-range roster of games, because they should still be taking the charge with turn-based combat. They should still be pioneers running that. And I've always said it, I feel like since 10.2 and elements of 13's combat, we were really going places. That turn-based definitely still has a way, and then our games forging that. So anyway, it was just Yoshida making that comment again. Actually, I've not gone to the trail yet. There's a trail around the back of the house, man. Let's go for a little roamy wander. Birds out here are so much louder compared to British birds. British birds are very peaceful and reserved. Bloody Americans, loud bloody Americans. Even your birds, even your aviaries are. Oh, sorry, since I've been out here with Bree, we've had such a banterous time. All the like quirky differences between English culture and American culture, all the phrases. Like, she says kebab. Let's go have a doner kebab. And it's like kebab. She roasts me for saying banana. Banana. Oh god. Oh, there's actually thorns here. So FF7 Rebirth news. The biggest one that sort of made my sphincter clench a little bit, but also made me go, It's that. So first of all, that they considered doing it in two parts. That Kitase really pushed. Ooh, a little river. For doing it in two parts, but they realised we'd be waiting a long time, and it would be a bit of a hurry. So it's definitely got to be a trilogy, and that although we are going to be getting every location, I can't ask for more than this. I was very much expecting locations to be cut. Oh, nature's scary, yo. I was expecting locations to be cut, but we're going to get them. However, the chronology of them may switch up, may be different. We may do events in different orders. And that's not really that surprising considering how down the rabbit hole of changes we are. So it's the same theme as OG. We're going to follow the basic blueprints of 7, but crazy stuff's going to be happening. And in terms of that crazy stuff, I've been like watching Rebirth trailer some more, and it's very trippy, very hard to ascertain what all of those dialogue means. Me and Bree were discussing some of them this morning. Ooh, there's a little table over there. Let's go have a city. The opening line, for example, Cloud. Oh no, it starts with Aerith saying, "The past is in the past." Stole that straight from, was it Timon and Pumbaa? Yeah. Was it Timon and Pumbaa? Or was it Rafiki? I think it might have been Rafiki. The past is in the past. Santi Sana squash banana. Maybe it was. We could do is change the future. Now, it's not written in stone. That was the Aerith line. But then what really tripped me out, maybe you guys can correct me on this. It threw me under the bus. Cloud saying that Sephiroth's plan, he says his plan outright, which is he wants to take over this planet and zip off like a galactic Care Bear through the cosmos, like Genova did. Does Cloud know this at the part of the story? Again, it's really hard to know if, just like as we get to this Nibelheim section, there's a lot of truths come to Cloud in really ambiguous, usually black screen format, which is the other part of it. Sometimes in the black screen format, did he say Zack? He mentioned Zack's name? I don't know if he did, I don't know, because there was also a thing that whatever that voice in OG that was coming through the black screen, sometimes it did seem like it was Zack, like deeper parts of Cloud's consciousness, talk about Tifa making a move on her, other times it was quite clearly Genova doing it, just because Cloud then goes and mentions Zack. You were with me 5 years ago, ? Where are you, Zack? So when I couple Cloud having a lot more what seems clarity on who Zack is and Sephiroth's plan, with also the title saying, what is Sephiroth's plan? What is fact and fiction? It all just lends to hinting that Cloud is far more aware from, and it makes sense, from that Harbinger experience at the end when we saw the Harbingers turn into live stream, which is memory. And we saw that go into Cloud's head and also some of the other gang members. And that the version of Cloud and arguably the whole gang, they're going to be more caught up on their previous lives. Maybe they out and out know that there was, just like Aerith quite clearly knew. Now, she was the only one in on it at the first part. It seems to all hint to me that they're all kind of more aware now, which kind of begs the question on the Tifa line, because there was Tifa saying about, Cloud said, I saw you dead, I thought I was too late, and I think there's a real big change in the English and the Japanese. I think English Tifa says, do you think I'm an imposter? Or what does that mean, I'm an imposter? The Japanese is more like, oh, do you not trust me? Or something along those lines. And I was wondering what that was a reference to. Was that when she got slashed, like Cloud's just recalling Nibelheim? Probably. When she's there and she's scarred and Cloud shows up. Because the dialogue makes it sound, I showed up and you were laying there. Which, that's not original Cloud's memory of the event. It is what happened. Cloud shows up too late, or like when Zack's gone up the stairs. But at the point of OG Nibelheim, Cloud believes that he sees Tifa and Sephiroth tussling and the slash happen. I think, yeah, and he sees her bounce down the stairs. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm probably overthinking. I just want an excuse to talk to you, my Pezzy Wezzies. And this is kind of what, as awesome as it was to see a Rebirth trailer, why when I saw it, I was like, hi Peru, but I was just like, because there's so much to deduce that, what these lines could be, what they could mean. Even Aerith's line, which says, I want to meet you. Straight after that, they cut it, or they cut him very soon after with Zack, like saying that he was sorry that he wasn't there. Does that hint that Zack is talking about not being there for when Aerith died? Does that mean that he is now in the same timeline, the same world? Zack is actually alive, and that my theory, that he is still dead, God in the live stream, that the souls in the church, he walks in on their tormented souls that are in purgatory because memory and Terror Corrupt has slurped the gradients of the live stream. I mean, you guys know my theory, hopefully. I don't even know if I do at this point. It's also trippy. But yeah, Aerith's line, I want to meet you, that was also her golden saucer line. So it could mean she's trying to find Zack, that she's now aware that he's alive again, because they are so connected. Aerith is obviously super intuitive. If Marlene can intuit Aerith from across the bloody globe as she does, there's no way if Zack is alive that Aerith doesn't know. And you kind of get what feels like hints of it, where she sort of stops, she looks up, them passing at the end, where they pass shoulders and they both smile, they intuit each other there. Even just the more thematic, symbolic hints, like a girl with a pink ribbon at the end looking around after the credits where they're trying to rebuild the sector. She's looking around and she sees the dog, Stamp, Zack, all those connections, and they run and they hug. She hugs her dog, which is very much felt like a hint of a Aerith reunion with Zack. And that's why all of that has started tipping me towards the idea, maybe Zack is actually alive. Maybe he is in this world, and maybe he did do something to get Biggs off the plate, and that's why Biggs is still alive, and maybe he has been operating behind the scenes, and maybe that is why Zack, or why Cloud comes into the game differently to how he originally did. He wasn't just dumped at a train station ill for weeks and weeks on end. No, he meets Tifa in good health, and they go on the first bombing run only a few days after they've met. A few days. In original, Cloud was ill for about a month. And there's a whole ultimania of Jesse and the rest of the Avalanche gang sort of becoming aware of Cloud, and that Tifa's looking after him. Now that's completely changed, and instead Tifa has been nursing Clone 49, a freaking Sephiroth clone. Which I hope you guys have seen my theory on the secrets of 49. I did that while I was in Scotland. Banging theory. Still really, really hung up on that one. Still confident that there's some semblance and grain of truth in it, because I gave multiple options on what it could all mean. Or the line, I want to meet you, again, could just very simply be that golden source line when Cloud and Aerith are on the ride together. She says to Cloud, I want to meet the real you. I'm searching. Which, again, could be what she's intuiting of Zack being within Cloud. Could also be her genuine feelings for the real Cloud. But I don't know, and all of it just makes everything such a kind of a scary muddle for me, because it scares me, the idea of Zack being reinserted, like genuinely back into this realm. For me, when I've imagined it and I've played out the scenarios in my mind and what I'd like Zack's role to mean, I've preferred the idea of him not being back, but I am fully willing and open to let Square Enix roll with it. You know, there are definitely ways that they could like disappoint me and let me down, and things that I wouldn't be that thrilled with, choices that they could make. But for me, I'm one of these people, I do not have this notion that you could ruin FF7, you've ruined my beloved game. OG will always exist, that will always exist, that will always be its own thing. There is nothing in the remake that will change that for me. And that's why I've just been way more open and willing for the remake just to run with it, just to charge down the line. And to hear Kitase having to clarify that to interviewers yet again. There were some interviewers who were like, "Ooh, we noticed that you made a lot of changes at the end, and why did you do that?" I could tell there was saltiness, and Kitase just going to be like, "Bruh, nostalgia alone won't carry this for, and what will it be, 6-7 years? We as developers won't want to be making this project on purely nostalgia alone." Everything that built up the immersive experience of FF7 it hinged upon so many built up secrets and reveals. First of all, Shinra and who Sephiroth is and what the reunion is. Then everything to do with Zack and the mystery of him unfolding, the curiosity of it. We know all of this stuff. So yeah, we know it won't play. But yeah, going back to that Zack point, they also did mention a little bit on the Crisis Core Remaster Reunion. Yeah, it's really interesting they've gone with Reunion. Really thought that would be the third part, third installment's name. So it was funny when they get asked about the Rees, which they did in this interview. And it was just like Kitase and Nomura. They love their little phrases like that. Like, "Oh, what would the other Ree be?" And I'm like, "Ooh, you have to wait and see." Oh, tee-hee, tee-hee. Am I too fat for this? What's going on this? Let's give it a go. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Damn, I feel so relaxed out here, yo. I do promise, guys, that very soon I will be back to streaming. I know I said it, but basically, as it's always been, when I get to Asia, I'm going to be back from the States in 2 weeks. 2 more weeks here. Then I've got a friend's wedding to attend to. Then I'm going to be off to Thailand. Already got it booked. 18th of August. Me and El Ginge, we're going to grab apartments. Just Asia hop, spend 2 months in each country. And I'm going to be taking my PS5 on the plane. And that's when I'm going to be back to streaming. I can't wait, because this really is such a hype period for gaming. There's so much coming through the pipeline that it's just thrilling as hell. Even games for series that I've never played. I watched the Bayonetta 3 trailer today. I remember you guys like really encouraged me to play that. Even Bree really hyping up Danganronpa. Like, none, if you haven't played it. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to playing all of these games. There's been times on this trip where I've just been envisioning and daydreaming about it, and I get such a giddy But anyway, the point I was making, yeah, they sort of mentioned that Crisis Core Reunion, it is simply going to be a like for like, except, I can't remember if it was Nomura Kotase said this, that did you notice the weird feelies, the weird tingly tinglies that you got with the remake? That while it was going along the same tracks and the same beats, you couldn't help but have a feeling of just think about that feeling. It was something along those lines, which to me that hints at really what I imagined they're going to do, which is they're going to dunk something at the end of Crisis Core Reunion. There's been a few remasters games, not that I've played them, but someone said about, was it Chrono Cross remaster? They throw something on the end of it. I definitely think there's going to be something altered at the end, or maybe even just very subtle, very sub-perceptual things in how Seth acts, maybe. Are they going to hint at Sephiroth having his awareness of all the timelines, even as far back as that crisis core point? Because of course they're going to want to tie it into this new timeline of the remake, this new happening, this restart. Sephiroth failed, got his ass pummeled in OG, and he just uploaded an old save file to start again. I wonder if they're going to hint at that. And I think that'd be kind of exciting. And why I think it could be is because there was also some FF7 First Soldier, of which I have still not played. Any First Soldier gamers in the house? Is that a good game? Because of course we had Ever Crisis. No, it wasn't Ever Crisis. It was First Soldier, where we see at the end Sephiroth standing there. Classic Nibelheim shot, and he's flashing between short hair, bob cut, Karen Seth, and then long luscious whole bottle of conditioner and shampoo Seth. Me and Brie were chatting about this morning because the first thing that came to her head when she saw it, and it was immediately the same thing that came to me. I was like, Angel and Genesis. And I suppose we're like copying Angel and Genesis's hairstyle. I haven't actually looked, so let me know, guys, if it is the same haircuts. Now, a few people thought Kadajlos and Yuzu, but there's not 3 haircuts, and they're definitely not the same haircuts. It's not them. But is it none of those, and it's just simply Sephiroth at different ages, different stages of his life? Because First Soldier, of course, happens way back to when Genova was first being excavated. A period of time that is very curious that they've gone back to, and we see Sephiroth with blood on his face. And I think there's like a hint that basically we're going to see some expansion on the Wutai War. Now, these first renditions of Soldier being sent to the war, we could get some really juicy insights on that. I was really excited when they, because they made it seem like there was going to be story elements. Back when it all first started, back when Shinra first found the crater and the program started, because to me, and I've still got that Rufus Shinra theory, they've changed and they've hinted, and Nomura even said, like, oh, did you notice we changed Rufus Shinra's age? They changed it to 30, which doesn't seem like a big deal, except for that it coincides the year of Rufus's birth with the same year that Genova was discovered. Now, mistaken for a Cetra, a pure-blooded, or what Shinra perceived as a pure-blooded race. Shinra being such a megalomaniac, would he not have wanted a messiahal son? Of course he would have, to run his empire. Now that's when his dream of Neo Midgar and his kind of New World God complex starts really kicking in. And that's why I just have such a strong conviction that Rufus was embryonically altered, that he has been injected with what could either be Genova cells, but probably not Genova cells, because of course at that same time they also discovered Null's Pole, which means they discovered Fauna, so he could also have some Fauna DNA in him. And all that really means is, he's not like a squid mummy boy like Cloud is, but there is something so intrinsically, intuitively powerful about Rufus. How he comes into the story, why he follows Cloud and the gang, how when he was a child he knew that he should tell his father to install a trap door on the Shinra building. That still blows my mind, man. And President Shinra thought it was a dumb idea, but did it, and that's the exact thing that would later save Rufus in life. He's the only other one who actually shows up at the reunion. Now, every single time that there has been a reunion, even in Advent Children, Rufus is always there. He always shows up. He has this instinct like Cloud does. Now, I always think that's why Cloud and Rufus are both like, we're having a one-on-one. This is a one-on-one battle. It's like, bruh! Rufus is like, boss! And they're like, nah, we're doing this. I don't really like the he's a half-brother of Cloud idea. I don't think that's it, though. Again, it could be not that, but basically President Shinra was banging women at Nibelheim. Some of his half-brothers are literally the mothers of women who worked on fetus programs. I don't know how I'm now talking about Rufus. I always end up doing it. It's just so curious to me. It's like one of the... I have to do a video on... Oh, shit. God, I'm actually dipping. I haven't got the ab strength. I need to do a video on all the things that I'm hoping that the remake might titillate us with. Yeah, anyway, this is already being a much longer ramble than I expected. The only other things that kind of got my interest, well, 14. I'm so excited to play the new expansion. Gosh down. There was that whole billboard thing going on. Somebody bought a billboard, shoved it up. We've got some people, I thought it was really cool, but it got some people pissed because apparently the outfits are modded, and the club, I think it was the Rain nightclub, they're basically an orgy role-playing like group. So people got pissy about that. This one. Kitase went back on the Renoa Ultimecia theory. He went back on it. There was that whole interview that he did where he got asked loads of different questions about FF, like the biggest fan theories, and Kitase just answered it, being a good sport. You could tell sometimes he wasn't like sure about it, and he had to be like, And I really got the impression, especially when the question came up of like what time frame FF7 happened over. Like they asked him like 2 weeks, and I was like, yeah. I don't even know why that was a theory. And then when I calculated the number of days, I found it closer to 49. And I was like, yeah, like don't take this interview as be all end all. But people did. And then people sort of, anyone who mentioned Renoa Ultimecia theory, they just got a big firm dumping on. Like, you idiot, she's already said it's not. No, recently he came back and he was like, no, when I did that interview, I was just answering in sort of what I thought. But now that I've actually reflected on it and probably been asked like loads of times, especially on the Renoa Ultimecia one, I wasn't given accurate answers. I'm not like making that a statement. And that in fact, he thinks it could have been the case because of course there were other developers, other creators, I know Najima for example, who snuck things in and references, just like in Dissidia, you know how Ultimecia, when she fights Skull, she gives me a little, one more dance. so I'm saying it, man. Renoa Ultimecia theory back on freaking track. And I was chatting with Brie about it. I actually like it. I do like. That's one theory where I'm like, that's powerful. That's freaking profound. You know, the fact that Renoa said, if I ever become bad, I'm going to become a sorceress. I want you to be the one who takes me out, kills me. I think that that's one of the theories that actually adds weight. It makes it better. The profundity grander. Okay, but there we go, guys. Just having a little checkaroo if there's any other things I missed. 14 is so popular, Square Enix had to stop selling it. Oh, that's an old story. Old as hell. The end of turn-based Final Fantasy was inevitable. 15 was almost made by the Guardians of the Galaxy developer. Square Enix should introduce new FF7 Remake characters into Part 2. Or alter them. This is just an article that somebody's made that, no, they should, dead battery. Okay, I need to round this video out anyway. Introduce new characters. I mean, the world has got so many already there. And I kind of like that approach that they're taking. Kids will write characters are coming into it. We had kind of insignificant ones like Kyrie. I'm really curious if Evan Townsend is going to come into the story. Evan Townsend, if anyone doesn't know, a half-brother of Rufus Shinra. Again, just like Lazard in Crisis Core, just part of this like trio of President Shinra brothers who they find themselves pulled into the story in really fateful kind of ways. And yeah, I think it's going to get really, really trippy, and that, the part of the line of like, what's fact, what's fiction, is all just going to be adding to Square Enix's main game, which is to make the 7 Remake feel like it's covering the whole world. They spoke briefly about, that's how Nero and Weiss ended up in the Yuffie DLC. They're switching up. It's not even, I think it's so fucking intelligent what they're doing, because it ties so well to the mechanics of the live stream, how this universe actually operates, how memory plays a role, how it's stored, it is always existing. A life is lived and it goes back to nurture the planet, and that with things like enhanced technology, which I definitely think is going on in this rehappening, that's why there's that advanced version of Proud Clods and other technological advances that are much more further gone than OG. How that's coming into the story, how that's all going to progress towards Neo Midgar, man's relationship between home, his home and his wider home, the planet, our duty to each other. Another really deep, beautiful messaging and philosophy and ethos that comes through FF7 that is just hyper fantasized. High fantasy, shamanism, religiosity, even just sitting in a hotel room a few weeks ago with Bree watching Advent Children, getting a top up on AC, and just really feeling in my mind where I wanted this whole series to go. That I really don't want this ambiguous ending with Nanaki over Midgar, that everything with Edge and post FF7 world as we saw it in AC, that I'm looking for something different with this. I'm looking for a finale, a real wrap up, a real destruction of Sephiroth, and a really powerful, poignant theme. And that's why I love that the remake is looking to bring all of those elements into one crazy, nutty ride. One hell of a journey. And if that means that they do need to switch up the order of events happening, if Zack coming back and Angie being back, if Sephiroth does need to even go back and alter things in Crisis Core slightly, if the reason why his haircuts were shifting is because it was just showing like this is a Sephiroth who across all of his lives that he's lived across all ages, all coming back to one, that Ori Sephiroth, as he referenced himself to be. Man, I really got so close to growing my hair out luscious and long. So pissed off I cut it. I look like a bean head again. If that was hinting that this is a Sephiroth who's aware, like all the characters, like if indeed Cloud and the gang, their awareness does have to be changed, and that does fundamentally alter the game even more, I'm happy with it all, yo. I really am. And in fact, I'm kind of happy because what would have pissed me more off if like we go into Rebirth and the character's just like all that stuff that just happened in Midgar, all those like flash sequences that Cloud got in his head of like white materia falling in the lake and his final standoff with Sephiroth. If all of that was just glossed over for the sake of plot and continuing it more faithful to the OG, that because that's what I was really worried about, that Square Enix would have heard all of the criticism that came from the changes to the first part of the remake, and that they decided to try to cycle back on the bold decisions. Like, what big, swinging, heavy, dangly scrotes Nomura, Katase, Hamaguchi have for taking the route that they have with something that is so beloved that everybody knows beat for beat. Actually, I'm goddamn excited, but I feel like everyone should at least have some level of lads for trying to challenge themselves as developers and not just hinge on what who they were and what they created 25 years ago. I don't know, man. The nightmare begins. Chaos is unleashed in the world of FF7. It's all very titillating, man, and yeah, even Nomura himself kind of admitted, like, that first trailer, it was kind of a bit of a just a little ball flick, just a little gooch tickle, and then the next one, that's where we're really going to get our minds opening to where this was going. Thanks for watching this very, very casual, unscripted, just ramble about things Final Fantasy. Not much else exciting been happening. Stranger of the Paradise got a DLC, which introduces the Warrior of Light. And Overwatch and Final Fantasy VII Remake have both just returned to the top 10 best-selling games in the US for the month of June. Alright, interesting. And Tifa's fighting style was the hardest to build for Final Fantasy VII. No shit. That was Tifa's combat was absolutely gorgeous. Take it easy, my beautiful peasants. God, I'm going to get so balls deep in more of this, Chris. I don't like how I started that sentence. I'm going to continue watching Chris Chan's documentary. This is some hard shit, man. But yeah, for any of you guys who were talking about me along this trip, blame Brie, blame Brianna. Didn't expect her to be as absolutely amazing to like spend time with, as she is. Yeah, it feels really cringe to say it, but I got it good. I came out to the States and I got it real good. But yeah, here's, actually I'm going to do it, I'm going to stick on the end. Here's a little montage, a little travel vloggy, of which I will be putting a full and proper episode of my time in America up on Roaming Peasant. Of which I thank you guys so much for subscribing over there. Of course, there's been a hiatus, which I've not had time to edit the rest of my bike packing trip for that. So I've got that, I've got my America vlog, I'll have my Asian vlogs, and I'll also have my Scotland, my bollock deep in the winter fjords and highlands, the peninsulas, the national parks, jumping in freezing cold lakes, almost dying at points. I almost froze up on the highlands. Oh man, that's gonna be such a section. Basically, there's a lot. There's a lot of editing and a lot of cool. There's a lot of cool shiznizzle coming out on that channel, and sweet stuff that I can't be waiting to do here on Final Fantasy Peasant and my streaming channel, Full Fantasy Peasant. But here we go. Here's just a little montage of my excursions here in America. America, America, the land of the free. Pittsburgh. We'll be Pittsburghering. Pittsburgh. Wow, this is the nicest part of Pittsburgh. Right here. Yo, that looks crazy. I feel like we've entered an alternate reality.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole squad.
There's the squad.
Oh, they've got LED eyes. That's so cool.
At the con, there was we wanted to take a picture with them. They started talking to us in a weird like animal language.
Don't pretend you're not in your element. I'm so happy, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on.
The world is full of furry energy.
They're already in there. I closed it.
Damn, Randy. We just got to meet Randy. He's such a nice guy. Look at this. Look how American this is.
Okay, you don't have to say it like
It's
that.
so American.
It really is.
Bacon and eggs.
We do be eating. Okay.
I'm living the American dream.
Lots of syrup.
Lots of syrup and...
You know, you don't have to use all that syrup. It's not all for you.
We'll drink this whole lot.
Don't. Jake, stop. Oh my god. They were waiting for me to come back.
Morty, we have to leave this dimension because you fucked with these squirrels, Morty. They're gonna be backing up our asses, Morty. We gotta change dimensions. I told you, Morty.
No,
we
they're
can only
on
do that
my
a few
side.
times.
They're on my side.
No, man, they're plotting.
You're wrong.
They
Look
plotting.
how cute their bellies are. You wanna give them a squinch. Oh my god.
Stop killing the red ones, you little pricks.
Hey,
Go, be one with the squirrels. Slowly step
do
towards
you think they'll let me?
squirrels. This is peak happiness.
This is the best moment of my life.
Whoa, this guy's trying to stalk up on me.
Oh, Canada.
Guys, I'm going into Canada with a frappe. Woohoo! Canada, here we go. It actually looks like you're on a boat right now. Toot toot! Toot toot! It's war! Oh no!
Who the fuck?
This is like discount Madame Tussauds. How'd you get Batman? That's fucking wrong. Oh, that's the best one. Oh yeah. Oh, what's happened to Matt Damon's forehead? Matt Damon.
Oh my god, Obama scared the shit out of me.
Oh.
Yo.
The Obama's mummy. Oh, it's Forrest. This was the first movie we watched. Oh my god,
That is terrible. I'm so sorry for him.
That's Forrest Gump who listened too much to Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs.
This is a Forrest who didn't go on his run and just lost all hope in life. That's dark Forest.
It's hard for him.
Anti-Forest.
Gandalf!
Oh, Gandalf!
Oh no, Frodo! Oh no! Frodo, no! Oh god! Look at his little eyelashes. Frodo! I could carry you.
That's an acceptable. That's an acceptable Gandalf.
Yeah.
Why is Schmeagol so small? Smogel. It's the Justin Bieber. Oh,
That's just straight up disrespectful. Somebody definitely came in here and proved that.
Yes.
Hole in one.
Nerd. Look at the nerd. He's so terrible at mini golf. Look at how bad he is. Oh my gosh. What a loser. Look at this loser. Yo. How the heck did you know that was about to happen?
Hell yeah.
What the?
I felt it.
How did you know? I'm in shock. Take this crap away from me.
Look at the dinosaur!
Oh shit.
Oh, I can't wait to go there.
Fire. Squirts.
We can go during nighttime, right?
Hello. My name is Berlin.
Hello, but I'm not sorry. Hello.
Barnabas.
I'm Mr. Frog. I ate the bug. I ate the dinosaur. This is my show.
Best Final Fantasy Breed. Best Final
Eight.
Fantasy Breed.
8. Come at me.
You said it was 7.
No, I didn't.
We did?
No, I didn't.
Bruh, I
No.
guarantee I would not have fucked with a...
Hey! Sir! You don't think it's 7, do you? That's not what we talked about, and you're lying to your
7
audience.
and or type 0 and or 10-2 and or 13-2
Yeah, we talked
and
about top
or...
5. We talked about top 5.
And you put 7 at number 1. I know that for absolute certain.
Did I actually?
Yeah, for sure.
It changes.
For sure.
I could have very well done
You were
that.
just trying to...
You're full of shit.
You were just trying to...
No.
You weren't
I
being
told
real.
you. No, I told you that 8 was my favorite.
You were being a yes girl.
I think you're forgetting that I told you that 8 was my favorite. And you just remembered that I rated, because I do think that 7 is objectively better than 8, but I have emotions with 8, so I think it's better.
Emotions.
Are you? Do you want to fight right now?
I want to fight.
Okay.
Go on, strike me. Go on, chill.
Call me Starlight to Anya I'll kill you and the moose on your chest.
Oh yeah, I got a moosey, and we went to a very terrible haunted house that's for kids, and Bree was very scared because she's a pussy.
Wow. I was not scared at all, actually.
Oh, really sweet ass Ray-Bans.
They look really good on you. It's almost worth the fact that you stole them.
Hey, it's fine as keepers, bruh.
It's still stealing.
Theft by finding. But she does have sorceress skills, that much, I am certain. She sat saying, you will like me, incantations.
It works.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lesson we've learned from this. Because Renoa was right.
Renoa was right.
She had the right idea.
Yeah, Renoa was an unlikable brat.
Hey!
Hey!
She's a teenager. Give her a fucking break.
Yeah, but she was still a bit of a brat.
Wait, what's the word? Throppy? Throppy?
Throppy.
Stroppy?
Stroppy.
Stroppy.
Message of the story: always pursue your online stalkers.
Hey!
It's safe.
I was not a
It's
stalker.
allowed. It's safe.